Hi, I'm Sabri Mursi. I'm an art historian, and art historians are out of a job now. All the museums are closed, so I decided to share some art with you from my collection. Art that was made in the 17th century, which is the period I adore, and the painter that I adore most is, of course, Rembrandt. The work I'll discuss is behind me here. It is a work called Ecce Homo, which means behold the man. Behold the man. It depicts Pontius Pilate, who presents Christ to the people, the stupid people that are all around us. We're surrounded by idiots, and that's nothing new there. He lets the people choose between Barabbas, the bad thief, and Jesus Christ, the Messiah, and of course, you know how it ends. Right? It's a funny story because this etching is made in a period that isn't much different than ours now. You have to know that 1655 was the third consecutive year of plague epidemics in Amsterdam. People were, like now, in lockdown. People had no jobs, especially the self-employed. We are always screwed first. So there were shops closing. There were self-employed that were out of a job because they didn't have clients and didn't have people to work for them. 3 years after each other, which we hopefully not will have with this current coronavirus. Rembrandt was in the middle of all of that. He lived across the harbor, and the plague came from a ship that came from Algeria to Amsterdam and wiped out 10% of Amsterdam's population. Among that was Rembrandt's mistress, but the second love of his life, Hendrikje Stoffels, who, this is Hendrikje, bathing. A wonderful picture from the National Gallery in London, by the way. You have to see it when that gallery reopens. But Hendrikje Stoffels died of the bubonic plague in Amsterdam. Also, 5 years afterwards, his son, Titus. So Rembrandt was in the middle of it. People in Amsterdam knew that quarantine and social distancing worked, but they didn't know how. So some people stayed at home and put a little piece of thatch on their roof to show that they were infected. By the way, if you put a piece of leek on your roof, that would mean you were a prostitute and people could come to you for you know what. So it's better to have the proper thing on your roof, by the way. So in that year, Rembrandt had to work. He went inside and worked. He needed money. He was bankrupt. So what he does is produce one of his most splendid and beautiful etchings behind us, Ecce Homo, Behold the Man. There is a reason why he did this etching. He lived in a Jewish neighborhood, and the Jews in that neighborhood, mainly Manasseh ben Israel, an important Jewish scholar and rabbi, believed because of the bubonic plague and stuff that they saw around them, including even an actual comet that was seen in Amsterdam in 1654 in the skies, that would predict the coming of the Messiah. So Rembrandt gives us this beautiful, beautiful picture where we have the contrast of the Messiah being presented, the wisdom of the people on the stage, and the stupidity of the people under the stage, which is maybe comparable to the situation where we are now. It was a splendid and luxurious etching. I'll take it out of the wall. I wish it was an original, otherwise I would sell it, but it's a later print. But you can still see that this is one of the most splendid etchings Rembrandt did. He often did them on luxurious paper, like this one that we see here. It's mulberry paper. If you look close, it's made of mulberries out of Thailand. That's where they came from. It's the biggest impression that he ever did. This was a solid copper plate on which Rembrandt directly scratched all the lines that you see here. A marvelous detail. Look at these figures that you see here. The wonderful Christ and the absolute monster here of a Barabbas. Barabbas is the evil thief, and you can look that all up. You know how it happened, etc., etc. But the point that I wanted to make about this etching, which is made in 1655, and look how beautiful it is, that even in hard times comparable like like the ones we're in now, it is really, really important to look at beautiful things and also make beautiful things. And remember that people before you made these beautiful things in situations that were much, much worse. So I hope you liked this. Cheerio, and maybe I'll follow up in a few days with a different artwork from my collection. I hope you are well, and well, I'm finished, and I'm going to put on some trousers. Bye-bye.